In other news, a budget crunch in B County has a community program that helps the disabled and the elderly scrambling now to keep its part-time employees.
As our Andrew Ellison explains, it all has to do with the Affordable Health Care Act that goes into effect next year. Now, Andrew is joining us from the newsroom with more. Andrew, tell us what's going on out there.
Yeah, Lee, Jen, when the Affordable Care Act takes effect next year, all part-time workers who work more than 30 hours a week would have to get health care insurance benefits, and that's something that B County cannot afford. Their fiscal year starts on October 1st, so right now they're asking all part-time employees to cut back on hours. They're capping the part-time hours at 24 hours, and that means that a lot of these part-time workers have to make tough decisions about whether or not they're going to stay at their jobs.
Basic local driver B505 being ready to go get Paula Meinholt.
It's almost noon on a Thursday, and that means it's time for Richard Areola to pick up Paula Meinholt from her appointment and take her home.
You talk to the people every day, you get to know them.
Areola is a part-time driver for the B Community Action Agency, a group that this woman, like so many disabled and elderly, rely on to get where they need to go. But now, with the driver's hours cut to just 24 a week, people like Meinholt might lose what they've come to rely on.
We're going to have to cut back on the pickups because we run out of time. They don't want us to go over 24 hours.
And that's not the only problem, because while Areola is a retiree who doesn't rely on this income, there are other drivers who do.
Their livelihood is this job. So, it's kind of hard to survive or take care of a family on 24 hours.
And the agency is afraid of losing those workers.
Because there's a lot of competition right now, with the oil and gas industry. They're paying better wages than we are, and
now you're cutting the hours.
And now we're cutting the hours.
And ultimately, it's people like Meinholt, someone who uses this system to get to her job, who might suffer most.
That position work.
But the fact remains that the county can't afford health care for upwards of 100 part-time workers. So programs like BCAA have to figure out what they're going to do.
We have to do whatever we can with what we have.
Now, this organization, BCAA, they're looking at a couple of different avenues to try and solve this problem. One could be to hire more part-time workers, but that way it might cover the ground they need. But the problem is it's hard to attract workers to a 24-hour-a-week job with no benefits. The other possibility they're looking at is reducing the number of workers they have and making them full-time, having a few full-time drivers. But, of course, in that situation, you have less drivers overall. So they tell me it's kind of a catch-22 situation. Lee, Jen?
All right. Thank you for that report, Andrew.